Hey guys, Sean C. Phillips here, and welcome to part 3, I believe, of the new Q&A series. I think it's part 3. And I'm just going to get right into the questions. Hey guys, Sean C. Phillips here, and welcome to part 3 of the new Q&A series. And I think that all the questions are from May. That's why at the top of the video I put May. I know it's not May, but it's the May series, because that's when the questions are from. The first question is, hey, I have a question for you. Why do you call your parents by their first names? Just curious. Well, I'm actually not calling them by their first names. I've talked about this a lot, but it's just more like a stage name, because I'm not going to be like, I don't know, that's just always what we've said. Because like when we used to go on the E.T. ride, I used to always, make up these names when we went in, because you could make E.T. say them. And then my parents used to always go in and call themselves Herb and Gina. And I don't remember what name I used. It might have been Don, I think. And then Ethan used, I think, Dweebo. And I don't know, it's just always, that's just sort of like the thing we do. Hey Sean, why isn't MJ in your videos anymore? Laugh out loud, joking. Well, yet again, though, there still actually are people, though, who really do not know why. And like I said, there's nothing that I can do about it. It's just I live out in California now, and he's still back in Maryland. And, maybe at some point he'll move out here. I know, though, right now his main thing is, just working and, getting married soon. I mean, at some point, I don't know when, but I know he is engaged to Jayla, so at some point, I do wish he would put some more videos, like updating people on his channel, but he has a lot of camera problems and things like that, and a lot of people don't believe that, but he has a really old computer, and his camera is really old, and if I was there, I would be able to help him figure it out, but he can't record on the actual camera. Something's wrong with it. So he has to plug it into the computer. That's why he hasn't done vlogs. But I'm just answering that because I know he told me that's why. What's your favorite restaurant that hasn't closed down yet? Well, not many restaurants that I've liked have been closing. It's more like stores and malls, like the CD stores. And I mean, it makes sense to me why Sam Goody and stuff, most of them were closed. I think there's one of them in San Diego, Horton Plaza. I don't know if it just hasn't changed its name or what. But, yeah, not really any restaurants that haven't, like, anything that I've known that's closed. But I go to, like ones that I go to. Well, it's just sort of random. It's just all different ones. There's not really any that I would say are my all-time favorites. Like, I like, I guess El Torito I really like, and I think Shogun and Kobe, which was in Maryland. But I like that cooking on the grill. Not all of them are good, though. Sorry for my comment below. I feel like my phone is being weird. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Still living with your parents? Well, I mean, who knows? I mean, out here in California, it's very expensive. And, I mean, who knows what my situation will be then? Who knows, the film-wise, if it'll be doing bigger things. I mean, who knows? You never know. The world could be gone by then. I don't like to look that far ahead. It's like, who knows? MFK, Mother Teresa, Helen Keller, or Rosa Parks. I don't know what that means. Exactly how many DVDs do you have? And when did you start collecting? Yeah, a lot of people ask me how many DVDs, and people even said, I want you to go and count. And I never really felt like it. I think it's like, someone counted, and I think there's like 3,000, something like that. I get rid of them, though, like the ones I really don't want, and then switch over to Blu-rays. But I know there's certain ones that it just doesn't matter to me too much about switching over. What upcoming movies are you most excited about? Well, it's going to be going into production soon, apparently. And I'm really looking forward to this. It's The Killer Clowns 2. And I would love to do something in that one. I absolutely love that movie. And I'm also looking forward to the new Bill and Ted whenever they start doing that. I'm also looking forward to that Apollo, I think, 18 movie. I'm really looking forward to seeing that. I know that movie's been changing dates so many times. It was supposed to come out in April, then they switched it all the way to January, then they switched it to September or something, and now they switched it to August. I know it's been like 3 or 4 times. What's your opinion on what happened with Wet Movie and Renegade Fox contest? That whole thing, I mean, in the end, Wet Movie did end up getting paid, so, I mean, I don't really have anything bad to say. I know that it was a very stressful time for him when the whole thing was going on, and I know from that, I have no interest in entering contests. Like, it's like, kind of like, I don't know, there's a lot of stress behind contests. When you used to work in a movie theater, did you ever find anything valuable and kept it? I don't think I really. I know people found like wallets and stuff, but everybody turns. You're not gonna keep the wallet. I mean, it's pretty obvious someone took it. But I don't think in my life I've really ever found too many valuables. I think I found like a $10 bill or something on the ground once. I know my dad once found like a bag of money. It was like a 20 and some coins and stuff, but I never really found a lot of that stuff. How did you decide you want to work for film for the rest of your life? And I ask because I'm 22 and have no idea what I want to do with my life. Very lost and no real end in sight. P.S. While applying to a comic shop today, I got guilted into buying a locally made zombie film. I'll probably watch it once or twice, then ship it off to you if you wanted it. I'm definitely interested in hearing what the movie was. Well, the thing with me was, me and MJ always made, shorts. We always made videos together, and we always were doing that kind of stuff. But we never really got. I don't know why we never pursued acting and things like that earlier than we did, because I felt like there was a period of time when, from the age of 18, because we really couldn't have done it when we were in school. But when we graduated, and I was 18, going on 19 that fall, I don't know why I didn't pursue it earlier. And I always wonder why I didn't. It never occurred to me at all to do that. So that's like always been kind of a little bit of a regret. That I didn't start earlier, because who knows what point I'd be if I started. But the thing is, in the end, it may not have been the right time to start. But I started in 2008, I think, 2008 or 8, I think about 8. April of 2008. And it was kind of just luck that it happened, because, it was Andrew Gernhardt at Synthetic Cinema wanted us to do the Sasquatch movie. But then that got delayed, and then they said we have this scene for Banshee, and we have to redo the ending. The original one wasn't any good, so we're going to re-add to it. And that was kind of how I did that, and then I did a Bigfoot movie, and then I was like, you know what, I really like doing this. And then I really started to pursue it. And that was kind of how I ended up figuring out what I wanted to do. And what was weird was it was always kind of what I wanted to do, but I never really pursued it, which was very strange. But like that kind of stuff, you just have to go after it if that's what you want to do. But I know it's tough to figure out what you want to do, though. And if I didn't have my parents supporting me, everyone goes on about that. If I was like living at the house and stuff, I don't think I'd be able to do it as much as I do. And that's the truth. Have you ever considered losing some weight? Now, people ask me that a lot. Yes, I have. And the thing with me is my weight's up and down a lot. And there's periods of time when I can lose a lot. I never go over a certain weight, but I sort of is always in this area where I can lose 20 pounds, then get it back. It's a pain in the ass. But I would definitely like to lose a decent amount of weight. I don't want to get like Ethan Suplee, where he lost his look totally and became now a really skinny guy. Like he's like Mr. Skinny. And I don't know. I mean, I really think it's good that he was able to do that. But personally, I don't care for him as much. I don't know. There's something about when he was really heavy, he was really cool. It was like there's real cool character to him. And he's so different now. It's almost like you've got to get to know him all over again in these things. So I would never want to lose weight drastically like that to the point where I got skinny. I would like to be just a little less fat. I would not want to be fat at all. I like being a little fat. That's me. Have you... what's this? Hey man, I just watched a short film, 1994, called Aftermath. You recommend it as the goriest films ever made back in 2008. Well, I watched it and almost puked. I wanted to know your honest feelings about the movie. Yeah, it was a very gross movie. Aftermath was a very gross... All the movies on that disc were gross. And done almost so realistically, I could see how you could get sick like that. But they were really well made movies, though. What's the best film you've ever seen? Mine is Apocalypse Now. That is really hard to say. So, Sean, have you seen the Anti-MJ YouTube channel? If so, what are your thoughts on it? Yeah, there's somebody out there, and I'm not going to go into it, but this is, that tries to give MJ a lot of crap all the time. And there's been a lot of little crap things like that with people in the past. Luckily enough, it seems to have died down now. But yeah, I don't really have any opinion on it. It's just people. Some people just really don't have anything to do with themselves. Too much free time, so they're just sort of just trying to cause issues all the time. And I'm sure you notice that online a lot. There's just people that like to cause lots of problems. What is the worst movie you paid to see in theaters? I don't know. That new Big Mama's House was pretty bad. And I don't think there's been some that are just horrible. I've had more bad experiences when people go in there and just cause terrible, talking the whole time, and sometimes that can ruin the movie too when it's an experience like that. What's the rarest DVD you own? I don't know what ones are exactly. I guess and I've mentioned this a couple of different times, the Afraid of the Dark, the entire series of those from Canada. People ask me about that all the time. And you can find them on Amazon.ca, and sometimes they're used on Amazon.com. And a lot of times, though, they're sold very, very expensive, though. Do you think you could tolerate all the rude, crazy people that come in to the hardcore pawn shop if you ever work there? Yeah, I really like that show, though. I actually really would like to go to that pawn shop and try and get on the show doing something. I'd love to get on the Pawn Stars show with something. Yeah, I know a lot of people don't like reality stuff. I don't really think that's the same. It's more just teaching you about these things. And I would just bring some kind of crap. And I almost would be tempted in the hardcore one just to cause some kind of an issue. Because I feel like sometimes they might tell them to do some of that stuff. I don't know. Which film is better, E.T. or Close Encounters? I don't know. I mean, I think E.T. is the one that I like to watch more. But I think Close Encounters is a little more interesting in some points, though, too. What's your favorite and least favorite film genres? I don't really like that. Sometimes I don't like a lot of musicals. Sometimes some of them are alright, but sometimes I just don't like when movies break out into singing all the time, unless it's really cool singing and really cool. But some of them just get so annoying, like Mamma Mia a bit. It just gets a little annoying after a while. And favorite is definitely horror. And then comedy. How are you? Well, I'm fine. Of all the films you have been in, which is your favorite or the funnest to work on? Well, so far, I'd say now the Girls Gone Dead movie is my favorite. It's the most movie out of everything I've done. I'm looking forward to that most. I really would like to, I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, I played a really fun part in it. I think people are going to really like the movie a lot. I don't know, it's definitely the one I'm really looking forward to. And then, and that was a really fun experience. Another, fun one, Chris LaMartina's movies have always been a great time. President's Day and Witch's Brew. And President's Day will be out sometime later this year to early next year. But both of them have been really good times. How many times a year do you get your hair cut? Maybe 3. I don't know, every month or two, every other month. I know I've got a strange, peculiar haircut, but the thing is, if I change it, then I get rid of the look. If your DVD collection were to get destroyed in a flood or fire, would you start collecting over again from scratch? Well, we have insurance, so I would try and, show the video and then try and get it replaced, and then I would replace them and just get the ones that I really need again. But I think I have to get most of them back, though. Now, some of them would be bitch to find, though. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I'd be able to even find some of them. Why are you so awesome? I don't know. What are some of your favorite things from the 80s and 90s that you wish could be around now? Are you a fan of Quentin Tarantino? Appreciate a response from you, man. I guess the things that, I used to go on and on about that stuff, but the things in the 80s that I liked. I was born in 85. Yes, I didn't grow up through the whole time. But I always liked that era because I liked the music. I like that style of music. But, as much as Lady Gaga, people go on and on about her, she's got an 80s vibe in some of her music. She's, I can tell that she likes that kind of music. Because you can hear in the chorus of some of her songs, very 80s chorus. But, things like that. In the 90s when, the malls still had all those kind of stores, and I liked the movie stores and the CD stores. mainly stuff like that. And sometimes the styles were kind of fun. You know what I mean? Like, especially like the bright colors and stuff. It's like, I wouldn't personally wear it, but it's like kind of funny to see people in it. It was a unique style. And yeah, I do like Quentin Tarantino's movies. Cactus. Someone just said Cactus. Are you going to show the dinosaur place from where Pee-wee's Big Adventure and The Wizard was filmed with MJ Kelly? Well, MJ Kelly's not here now, so I mean, I didn't even know where that place was. Like, I needed to figure out how to drive out there. Maybe me and Wet Movie will go out there at some point. What's your favorite character to play and why? Plus, I love your videos. I just had to get that out there. Favorite character? Well, truthfully, I like playing characters that are a little different, that are not, you know, silly and stuff. As much as people think that I like to do all that silly stuff. I mean, you know, it's fun to do, but it's not like what I absolutely love to do. I like to do real different stuff, way more serious. Like now, most of the stuff that I do, I'm not doing that real over-the-top stuff that I used to do in the beginning. Like the Don character is so over-the-top. And, you know, I do it again at some point, you know, for the right thing. And there are 2 movies that I did that will be out soon from Tempe, the Chris Seavers movies. The Filthy McNasty and Geek War. And both of them, even though I'm called a different character, it's the Don character. And, you know, he's technically going to be like 2 things with Don that you can see if you miss that character. What is your favorite Troma movie directed by Lloyd Kaufman? Your favorite Troma movie distributed by Troma? I think, you know, The Toxic Avenger has always been one of my favorite ones of his. And then Nuke 'Em High, the original one. Distributed, well, they put out a lot of stuff that I like that really weird one, Butt Crack, was an interesting low-budget one. That documentary, Jeff Town, was really well done. What's your favorite Crispin Glover performance? Definitely, you know, he's been in so many different things I like, but, you know, River's Edge was a really cool character. Willard, you know, those are some of the ones I really liked. And Back to the Future, he was good in that. Real different. Which is better, Afraid of the Dark or Goosebumps? Definitely Afraid of the Dark. I mean, Goosebumps, I still like it, but it's way more of a silly movie. Do you like James Dean movies? I haven't really seen many of his. So Corey Feldman killed Bin Laden. What are your thoughts? Well, I know he didn't do that. Did you ever meet the Fonz? Can you elaborate a little, please? Well, he was one of the few celebrities that we met, where me and MJ met him at Chiller, where I felt like we acted a little strange to him. Like, I don't know, something about it was just exciting because it was meeting the Fonz. And, like, MJ was like, you know, it's an honor to meet you, sir. Like, just the way he was doing it was kind of funny. But, yeah, he was a nice guy, though. It was cool, and I think we called him the Fonz. I don't know. Since you've been doing acting and you think you get your own place soon, well, if only you paid the money for that. Is Slime City the greatest movie you've ever seen? Is it greatest or goriest? Yeah, goriest. Goriest movie you've ever seen? Or is there a movie more gross? Oh, there's definitely things more gross. I can't think of it offhand, though. Who was your favorite synth composer for horror movies? Mine are Fabio Frizio, Goblin, and Brad Fidel. Yeah, those are really good synth composers. I don't know others ones offhand. Like, a lot of times I just like the synth music in it, but I don't really know who did it. Who was your favorite random character from Pee-wee's Big Adventure? I'm trying to think of who would be, like, random that I liked. Like that kid, you know, the kid at the end. I always liked it, the real asshole kid who got the bike, and he was the brother in, you know, the Wonder Years. Him I liked, and then, you know, Amazing Larry, but, you know, he was more in the deleted scenes. No, yeah, man, who else is ones? You know, of course, Francis. I don't know if there is as much random, though. And Simone. There's so many of them that I liked in that. Amazing. Oh, yeah, there's 3 here listed. Amazing Larry, Mickey, or the bum on the train. Well, out of those ones, probably, I don't know, Mickey. There's so many of them are so good, though. Got a question. Does Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe? I don't know. Do you ever play video games? If so, what are some of your favorites? I've never really played many. Do you often get recognized in the street or elsewhere where in public? If so, is it usually as Sean C. Phillips or coolduder? Well, I do. There was one week when I got recognized 5 days in a row. And surprisingly, it happens like weird places. A lot of times, if I'm with Wetwood, Brendan Mitchell, it happens. If I'm with, when I'm at the train station, it's a lot of weird times it happens. But the most is at Comic-Con. That's that. I mean, the one year at Comic-Con 2000, I think it was 2009. It wasn't last year. The year before. I mean, there was I'm not kidding on this. It was every, not even 10 minutes, someone would touch me on the shoulder. I love your videos, and I thought that was pretty cool. I really like to meet the people that watch the videos. But a lot of times they say, I don't know, they don't say anything, but I just like your videos or things like that. Is the fight with you and MJ real? It was not really a fight. It was just, talking about the drive. So are you going to have any more cameo appearance? I have a cameo appearance in Piranha 3D. Nope. I never heard anything back from them. And the thing is, if it was, it would have just been like background extra, so not really a big deal. Would you ever consider any personal change for a movie role, haircut, weight loss, etc.? Well, I would shave my head or something. For a really good paying movie, that was what people would see and stuff. And weight, that would take a long time. Who's the weirdest person you've known in your life, in your school life? What did they do? There are so many weird people. There's one guy named, I always called him C. Melvin. His name was Mark. I don't want to say his last name, but he was just this weird guy. Like, he always wore the tightest shirts, and it showed off his man boobs. And I never really understood why he did it. They were the tightest shirts you could ever imagine. And when we went to lunch, he used to cough on MJ's food some of the times, and he got him sick once. Like, he had a cough, and he took Matt's food. Matt, I call him Matt, but he coughed all over his food, and Matt was sick the next day. And then there was one time when someone had food that was very old that he left in his locker overnight. Yeah, he brought food in, the Mark guy, and he didn't eat it. It was like restaurant food. You're supposed to refrigerate it, but he kept it overnight in the locker. Ate it the next day. He was eating it. He did that all the time. Eat this really old food. Amber Heard, Olivia Wilde, and Mila Kunis. Rank them in any way. Also, can I join your family? I'll tell Ethan I said what's up. Well, I don't know who Olivia Wilde is for sure, but I think I prefer Mila Kunis over Amber Heard. I think she would too. Also, can I join your family? I don't know. For all those giving Sean a hard time about MJ, I have a feeling Sean could say a lot more, but he chooses not to. Question: where would you like to be in 5 years? Well, still doing what I'm doing now, and just, getting into bigger and bigger things. When you get depressed, how do you bring yourself out of it? Well, I think the best thing is just to watch positive things and things like that. What do you think of the movie Jacob's Ladder? Have you ever seen Repo, a genetic opera? I think you'd like it a lot. I liked Jacob's Ladder a lot. For some reason, I couldn't get into Repo for some reason. I don't know why. Was a specific movie you really dislike? Nothing really specific. I never liked The Family Man because of the way it ended. May seem like a silly question, but do you ever eat at home? Every time I see you, you're eating out. Obviously, you must do so. What's your favorite meal? Well, we don't really cook. I'm sure Jamie Oliver would have something to say, but we don't get, crappy food usually. But usually we get dinner out and I eat something, during the day in the house. Let me see. What's your favorite meal? I like Mexican food a lot. Everyone else in the house doesn't love it as much as I do, though. What was the worst experience while working in a movie or film? Could it be the other actors? Well, I haven't really had any horrible experiences. There's some actors that you meet that are kind of full of themselves and have this sort of weird opinion and make the movie shoot a little bit difficult for people by causing issues and things like that. And it gets kind of awkward and you kind of feel like you know, I mean, I always just stay out of that kind of stuff. Just go sit down with everybody and just stay out of it. But things like that are like happened that are just awkward things, but nothing absolutely horrible. And nothing really, and nothing I would really want to discuss either way. How do you feel about, because then the person might know what movie it is and stuff. How do you feel about classic movies being remake, like Conan the Barbarian being redone with 3D? The bottom line is that when they remake a thing like that, they know that there's an audience, and I know why they're doing it. But the thing is, you don't have to watch it if you don't want to. And that's the way it is with me. It's like a lot of them, if I don't care about these remakes, I'm just not going to deal with them. There have been some remakes like Hills Have Eyes and things like that that have been okay. Is the demand for you to make videos ever overwhelming? I mean, sometimes I feel like people get like sort of pissed at me when I don't do the DVD updates and things as much as they'd like. And sometimes I feel like they kind of take it out in the other videos I do. Or sometimes if I make something a little different, people get mad at me for that. Like if I make like a weird music video just for the hell of it. And I just feel like people get pissed at me about it sometimes. And I don't really know why. I mean, it's just a weird question thing, but I don't know why they get so mad at me about it. Like, I think some people have this idea that I'm sitting in the TV room all day watching movies. And that's totally not what I do. I mean, I watch maybe a movie every other day, maybe. I'm not watching it as much as people think. So that sometimes it gets tough to do them all the time. Hey, Sean, what do you think about 3D Blu-ray movies? And how's your Ghost? I see it sometimes in your videos wondering about. Well, Ghost, I don't know. Is there a ghost behind me now? I don't know. I think, I'm not really interested in getting 3D Blu-rays, although I did a horror movie in 3D, Bloody Mary 3D, so I might have to take the copy to Best Buy and say, would you mind if I watch it? Well, there's a lot of nudity in it, so I don't know, they might escort me out if I put it in. No, it's not me. What's the first movie you ever bought yourself? Well, I used to always, in like elementary school and stuff, and middle school, would go to, like early middle school, before DVDs were out, would go to like Suncoast, I think every Friday or so. Every time I went, I would get a movie there. So even years ago, I used to always buy stuff. It's weird, like, to think now how, like, all of them are, like, in the dump now and stuff, or, like, gone. But, formats change and stuff. It's just weird when you think about stuff like that. Do you ever watch the Power Rangers when you were little? I did. During the first season, when the show was really big, I really watched it a lot. I remember I even had, like, a Power Rangers kind of party, sort of, and everyone was getting me Power Rangers toys. Yeah, so I don't really have a favorite superhero, though. Hey, Sean, big fan of your work. Have you ever seen the So Bad It's Good movie, The Room, or Cool as Ice? I've never seen Cool as Ice. I have seen The Room. At Comic-Con the one year, the star of The Room was there. You're tearing me apart, Lisa. And he was there. And I don't know if I'm in the documentary or not, but they were filming a documentary or something about the movie. And if anyone's seen it or knows, let me know what the thing is. But they were asking people what they thought about the movie, what they heard about it. At that point, I hadn't seen the movie, and I told them that I heard it was the worst movie ever and everything. See, I didn't know. I didn't even realize the guy who made it was like right over there, and they were like looking at me real bad about it. But I've had that kind of thing happen before. So let me know if anyone's seen that thing. Let me know what your favorite movie and type of music. I don't really have a specific favorite movie. I gotta really start thinking about that more so I can come up with a better answer. But I always usually say like, Pee-wee is one I love. It's more like movies I love to watch. They may not be perfect as a movie in a lot of people's eyes, but they're more like something I like to watch a lot. Favorite type of music, like pop music and things like that. 80s pop, that kind of style of stuff. I guess this would be the last question. James here again. Just want to ask you a few questions. First, what is the best way to buy some of the films you're in? Acted example, Netflix, Internet Ordering, etc. the probably, I mean, Assault of the Sasquatch. If you have Netflix streaming, you can watch that on there for free. It's also on Amazon and all the major sites. And then me and MJ are both in that one. A good number of scenes in that. Banshee were only at the end, so if you just want to see it, go ahead. But it's you're only seeing a small thing because the movie was shot when we did our scene. And then Red River is on Amazon, but there's a small little cameo in that. And then other things are just still coming out. Second, which films are you looking forward to the rest of the year? I mentioned some of those earlier. Third, are you thinking about branching out into more serious movies such as drama, things like that? Not sure if you've done anything like that. Keep up the good work, and I love the out and abouts of the family. I was in one drama movie recently called The Critic, and I think it's a more serious tone movie, but I'm definitely going to try and be doing more serious stuff for sure. But anyway, though, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.